Hey guys, today we have Paras Chauhan and he's having total 3 year of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices domain. And those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Paras, how are you?
Yeah, hi, I'm good.
Shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Paras, can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, I'm Paras. I'm basically based out of Uttarakhand and I recently shifted Pune.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, I was working from home and currently I'm
Mm-hmm.
in Cognizant. So,
Okay.
it's like I have totally 3 years of experience and I have
Mm-hmm.
gained so many, I have come to know so many new things in this organization. And
Mm-hmm.
currently, I'm in a project with a American bank. I can't disclose the name of it as I
Mm-hmm.
signed the NDA with them. So previously, it was like we were developing it from the scratch. There was some
Mm-hmm.
application from that side, and we
Mm-hmm.
were basically developing it from scratch. But these
Mm-hmm.
days, we are just doing the migration. It is like from Teradata to Snowflake migration, as well as
Mm-hmm.
we are, upgrading the Java version from 8 to 11, 11 to 17, and 17 21, so on. So our
So
main
you are
task,
in migration phase.
yes, migration phase.
Are you facing any challenges?
Yeah, sometimes there are sometimes there are some methods in Java 11. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we were migrating from Java 11 to 17, there are some of the method which are not compatible with Java 11.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, we have to search it in the web that we used to implement those. And later on, I come to know that we can use the rewrite recipe command as well, just to directly upgrade our Java version from 11 to
Okay,
17. Yeah,
nice.
I use the
So
boot
what
as
are the important annotations that we use while creating REST APIs?
Okay, so there are pretty much many
Mm-hmm.
annotation. Like first of all is at the rate rest controller, which
Mm-hmm.
specifically specify that that particular method is for the rest controller.
Mm-hmm.
And second one is at the rate controller, which specify, rest controller and controller.
Mm-hmm.
Like previously we were using the controller, then later on we were
Mm-hmm.
shifted to the rest controller, because since this is the implementation of two annotation, like controller
Mm-hmm.
as well as the response body. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
along with this, we are using at the rate response entity as well. Okay, and
Okay,
response entity, and also for the path variables we are
path
using
variable. Mm.
at the rate path variables.
Okay,
And yeah.
okay. So do you know the difference between a REST API and SOAP?
Okay, yeah. So see, I haven't worked on SOAP APIs, but yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
aware of it, what actually it is. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, the SOAP APIs, in the REST APIs, we basically write the request body in our XML
Mm-hmm.
format, and then we pass it to the backend. But in the SOAP, what we do is we basically write the
Mm-hmm.
XML sheet for it, if I'm aware of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so in that we write our all the steps which are going to be performed through the SOAP APIs. Then those steps are treated by our server and
Mm-hmm.
the APIs. So this
Okay,
is
okay. Okay, so as we know, like Spring Boot is very popular
yeah,
framework.
yeah.
So tell me the advantages as well as the disadvantages of Spring Boot.
Okay, so firstly I'll go with the advantages.
Mm-hmm.
So Spring Boot is like the whole package. Like first
Mm-hmm.
of all, previously when we were using Spring, then we
Mm-hmm.
were configuring every
Mm-hmm.
each and every classes and every beans by ourselves. But later on, after the release of Spring Boot, we don't have to care about it. All the things have been done by the Spring Boot,
Mm-hmm.
like all the configuration classes. We just need
Mm-hmm.
to add those dependencies in our POM file. Later on,
Mm-hmm.
the Spring Boot will get over it. And
Mm-hmm.
coming to the disadvantages, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think there will be a disadvantages. As obviously the Spring Boot was came just to this was the facelift of Spring. So
Mm-hmm.
as per me, I don't think there is a disadvantage of as of now.
Okay. Yeah, there may have a disadvantage as well,
Okay.
like managing the automatic configuration for complex requirement, memory consumption, uh, but they are very negligible.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, before moving ahead, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had launched complete interview preparation material structure step by step by myself, expert and MNC's interviewers. And the best part is that now no one need to go anywhere else to prepare interviews. There's a 99% chance that interviewers will ask questions from this material. So basically, it contains a lot of material categorized by experience level. Means each experience level has different material with all possible interview question and answer for Java, Spring Framework, Maven, Git, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data data JPA, Kafka, microservices, Java coding questions, Team API coding questions, and many more. I have provided the link to get this in the below description. And if someone need this material plus two real enterprise client projects for reference with the video recorded session plus one-on-one lifetime doubt sessions and referrals to the big MNCs like Infosys, HCL, Deloitte, then they should check the interview preparation kit. I will provide the link for this as well in the description below. So now moving to our interview. And guys, I would like to highlight one more thing. Paras purchased the interview preparation kit, and that is very, very helpful for him. So Paras, may I know your feedback?
Okay, so it is like I have purchased your interview kit.
Mm-hmm.
It's been almost a week. I'm
Okay.
I'm going through it. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
completed the whole course, but yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
find it too productive and effective for me because most
Okay.
of the questions which are asked in interviews are from that only.
From that kit only. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have heard also Paras like a lot of people's now able to crack their interviews, and if peoples are not getting an interviews call, then we are also referring them to our ties up companies. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, now moving to our interview. So Paras, let's say if in your team someone is new, very new fresher, okay,
Hmm.
and you want to explain him about bean. So how would you explain what is a bean?
Okay, so firstly, I'll tell the exact bean definition to him. Like, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, I'll tell, I mean, what is actually a bean? Like, bean is an
Mm-hmm.
object. Bean is an object which is created and which is, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
which is all, which is, it is like everything is responsible on the Spring Boot. Whether the creation of the bean or destroying the
Mm-hmm.
bean, it totally depend on the Spring Boot. So it is basically a Spring Boot object, which
Mm-hmm.
Spring Boot takes care of it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
or there are, I mean, we can ourselves define the bean as well with the help
Mm-hmm.
of at the rate bean annotations,
Mm-hmm.
and with the help of at the rate enable auto configuration and at the rate configuration by
Mm-hmm.
Spring Boot by default configure this for us, and then we
Mm-hmm.
can use those beans in our project as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So Paras, can you tell me the difference between the application context and bean factory?
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
application context is a, I mean, it's a context path which is given by the Spring Boot to us,
Mm-hmm.
which is responsible for creating the bean as well as destroying and everything which the beans consist of. So it basically takes care of it. And as of and factory, sorry, that was second was
Bean factory.
bean factory. Bean
Mm-hmm.
factory. If I remember, it is like we. I mean, the work which is okay. I'm not sure about it, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll basically guess what the bean factory is basically of.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it is helpful for the generation or creation of bean, if I'm not wrong. Huh?
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So application context includes all functionality of Bean Factory
Yeah.
and also
Okay.
adds more enterprise specific functionality like event propagation,
Okay.
declarative mechanism. So tell me the scenario where we should use Bean Factory and where we should use application context.
Okay. So application context. I mean, in the day-to-day life, we are using the application context only. Matlab,
Mm-hmm.
by default, the Spring Boot uses the application
Mm-hmm.
context as its context manager. Okay. And I'm not aware about the Spring that bean
Bean
factory for
Factory.
now. Yeah.
Bean Factory, I mean, if we should use Bean Factory for lightweight applications with minimal Spring features required.
Okay.
And we should use application context when there is a full suite of Spring features we have to use.
Yeah. And by
Okay.
default, also the application context is
Yeah,
used.
yeah, by
Spring.
default application
Yeah.
context. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and what is Spring IOC container?
Okay. So basically, previously, it is like Spring IOC container is like giving all the, I mean, we are just transferring all that. What you will say? We are giving the control to the container. It is like, okay,
Mhm.
previously like we were injecting everything from the scratch. Like if the bean
Mhm.
needs another bean, it is dependent on the another bean. We are basically
Mhm.
providing the object of it. But later on, after the application context, the IOC container came into the picture. We do not have to take care about it. It basically injects that bean or the configuration it want by itself.
Okay,
This is,
cool.
yeah.
Did you face any circular dependency issue while working on any project?
Yeah, so I face it while I was
Mm-hmm.
writing the test cases. It was like I was writing the test cases, but it was dependent on some other method, sorry, some
Mm-hmm.
other class. So I was injecting those with the auto wired. But
Mm-hmm.
in that the previous class also, I'm
Mm-hmm.
injecting the same object of this class. So it was like a circular dependency.
So how did you resolve that?
Okay, so basically, I took the help from my manager. To be very honest, he's
Okay.
so helpful. And what I did,
Okay.
yeah. So what I
Yeah.
did is, I basically checked the logic. So I don't know the exact how I resolved it, but yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
doing something wrong in between, which my manager, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
instantly picked up, and then I later on that I
Okay.
with the help of him resolved that issue.
Okay. Yeah, so it's nice. And also, I just want to add few things on the top
Yeah.
of this. Actually, circular dependency, sometimes it's not a major issue.
Okay.
We can include, I mean, we can enable circular dependency in our properties file. Let's say if we are facing circular dependency issue, and that's our project requirement, we don't want to disable that. So in our properties or YAML file, we can enable circular dependencies. Then we won't see any error. Otherwise, we have to remove the circular dependencies manually.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving ahead, have you worked with repositories? I mean, Spring
Yes.
Data JPA. So can
Yes.
you tell me the difference between JPA repository and CRUD repository?
Okay, so basically, JPA is a facelift of CRUD repository. It is like
Mm-hmm.
JPA repository extends the CRUD repository.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, JPA repository itself has some features. It's also add-ons the features of CRUD repository. Like JPA repository had delete
Mm-hmm.
in batch method,
Mm-hmm.
in which we can delete the chunk of data at once in
Mm-hmm.
a batch. We just need
Mm-hmm.
to specify the size of that batch. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And also, flushing, save and flush. It was
Mm-hmm.
introduced in the JPA repository itself. So these were some methods which were in the JPA.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Uh, okay, how you guys are using logging in your project?
Okay. So basically, we are using the Log4j, which is a default mechanism which is provided by the Spring 4. So
Okay,
yeah. Other than this, since we are working on the microservices, like
okay.
microservice architecture, so we are basically using the Elastic Logs Test Kibana for the
So you
logs.
are using Log4j2,
Yes,
and you
Log4j.
are also saying it's a default.
Yeah, if I remember, it's a default. Huh?
Okay. A logback is a default one.
Okay, log back.
Yeah. Log4j2, we have to exclude first logback, then we have to include log4j.
I remember I have excluded it from the POM file. Then
Yeah, yeah.
later on, I added the log4j. Yes.
Mm. And how you guys are visualizing logs?
Uh,
Like
like
we have tool, Grafana, Splunk.
okay.
Mhm.
I haven't used the Grafana, but yeah, I'm pretty much aware about it. Like the Grafana is used for
Mhm.
visualizing the graphs and matrices, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
So
it's
it is
the
very helpful in
yeah,
debugging, right?
yeah. It
Mhm.
is helpful in debugging as well.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay. So are you guys using any tool, or have you used any tool personally?
no, I haven't used any tool yet.
No, no. Yeah, yeah.
Like for monitoring, I have tool the Prometheus, but I haven't used the Grafana.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know about Spring profiles?
Yes, I know pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah.
about.
Please go ahead.
So Spring Profile is like giving the particular environment for each role. Like if I'm
Mhm.
working as a developer, so I can make
Mhm.
my own profile as a Spring Dev
Mhm.
dot properties and all. I can write all the
Mhm.
configuration over there, which can be used by me. Or
Mhm.
if the I mean else if someone is testing that application,
Mhm.
he or herself can create one more profile over there using
Mhm.
Spring QA or UAT dot properties.
Mhm.
So like this, they can also configure their or all the properties over there.
Mhm.
So this
Okay,
is yeah.
cool. Uh, what's the difference between qualifier annotation and primary annotation?
Okay, so primary annotation is like these both are related to the database, right? For
Mm-hmm.
repository. So primary is like we are indicating that this particular field will be a primary key,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not wrong. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That is a
that is
different thing.
ID. I think that is at the rate ID one. Okay,
ID. This
okay,
primary, remember, like we have multiple beans that are qualifying for auto wiring configuration. Then we make field a bean primary, like this is a primary bean. So
okay,
remember something like that.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to go through this topic. Yeah.
Yeah. So qualifier annotation is used to indicate which bean to inject when multiple beans of the same types are present.
Oh, okay.
Primary is used to give a bean preference when multiple beans qualify for a single auto wiring candidate. So both are same.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So have you worked with any authentication system?
Authentication as in?
As in like JOT authentication or
Ha,
OAuth
JWT.
2?
Yeah, I have worked with both of them actually. Not in
Please.
deep, but yeah, I have.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Just
Yeah.
give a brief on
So
these two.
JWT auth basically what it does is it is
Mm-hmm.
basically used for the authentication purpose. So whenever
Mm-hmm.
a client sends the request to the server, it
Mm-hmm.
basically generates a token on the basis of that session, and it
Mm-hmm.
stores those tokens in our current session, so that
Mm-hmm.
so this is the way how the backend authenticate the particular person.
Mm, correct.
Uh, yeah. So this is
So what details are present in a JWT token?
what details you mean
Mm-hmm.
the header and that one
Yeah,
key.
yeah. Apart from header.
Okay, so there is one header, and I don't exactly remember that, but yeah, one is header, and I think second one is the metadata. Also, it consists of the metadata.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the token consists of the metadata as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not about the third one.
Mm. Okay. So yeah, it's fine. So it's a actually JWT token. You remember, like we provide bearer token, bearer space,
Yes.
then there is a token. So I was asking about that token particularly. So that token, if we decode that token, so it generally has the issuer expiration time,
Okay.
subject, and additional data relevant to the authentication, like user email ID and password. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. As you said, you have also worked on microservice architecture, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So may I know how would you call one service to another service in a microservice architecture?
Okay. So basically, you're asking how two microservices communicate with each other, right?
Yes, yes.
So basically, see, it's, I mean, we can, two microservices can communicate in two ways,
Mm-hmm.
either a synchronous or asynchronous way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if it comes to the synchronous way, we can use the HTTP methods for it, for
Mm-hmm.
can consume the APIs. I mean, in which
Mm-hmm.
one consumes the API for the second one. And the second one is we can use the messaging queue like Kafka
Mm-hmm.
for intercommunication between the two services. So that's how we maintain the communication between the two services in our application. Yeah.
Can you explain few microservice design patterns that you are aware of?
Okay. So right now I'm aware of two design pattern as of now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think one is the eventual, I mean eventual consistency pattern, I think,
Okay.
and second one is the saga design pattern.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, I'm aware of these two as of now.
So what is Saga pattern?
So in the saga pattern, what it does is, if there is one
Mm-hmm.
transaction, whole transaction, we basically divide that particular whole one piece of
Mm-hmm.
transaction into the different chunks,
Mm-hmm.
and we give the each chunks to each microservices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when a one microservices complete that particular part, it tells all the microservices that it has completed its part. You can go further. And if somehow any interruption comes in between, or somehow the
Mm-hmm.
microservice doesn't able to complete that particular part, the everything gets rolled back at once. So
Okay.
it basically helps in consistency and reliability across the microservices.
Mm, got
Yeah.
it. Mm, what are the topics you are most familiar with the Java 8?
Okay. So in Java 8,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were many releases in Java 8 as of now,
Mm-hmm.
as specifically like there were stream APIs get introduced,
Mm-hmm.
new date and time it was introduced. Another was the Lambda expression. Okay. And yeah, as of now, I'm aware of these only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And optional?
Optional also. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you used optional personally?
I haven't used optional, but
Okay.
yeah, I remember the use of it because it was there in our application. I mean, it was used in our application, so yeah, I'm aware
Mm-hmm.
of it. It was basically to handle the null pointers.
Null pointer exceptions.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to know among the traditional loop or streams, which is faster?
Okay.
Let's say if I want to iterate an array or list, if I'm using
Okay.
a traditional loop or I am using streams, so which one is faster?
See, so if we go for the traditional loop like for or while
Mm-hmm.
loop, if you go,
Mm-hmm.
if we have a large data set, then in that
Mm-hmm.
case the for loop or the traditional way is much effective as compared to the stream. And if we are
Mm-hmm.
having the small amount of data, then at that case we can go for the stream because it is more efficient in that case. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know about intermediate and terminal operations in streams?
Yeah, so intermediate operations like filter and maps, which
Mm-hmm.
are basically lazy loaded. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it cannot work uh, without the terminal operators. Like terminal operators like collect and there was some else also. I don't remember it.
Collect, reduce for
Collect,
each.
reduce for each. Huh? So these are the terminal operator. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for the middle. I mean, the one which this one
Mm-hmm.
uh, this terminal operator must be present because those methods are lazy loaded,
Mm-hmm.
so that is why we need this.
Mm. Tell me what is functional interface and its examples.
Okay, so functional interfaces, I mean, the functional interface consists of only one abstract method in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and also we cannot extend the functional
Mm-hmm.
interface because it will anyways get it wrong, because if we extend it, it will be getting the method of other abstract method, other interface as well, which will cancel out the thing that it should have only a one method in it. And another was some question was.
Examples of functional interface we have.
Okay, so functional interface examples, I don't remember the examples
Okay.
right now. Yeah.
Okay. Comparator is a functional interface.
Okay,
Lambda
comparator.
expression is a functional interface or enable and callable.
Comparable, callable. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So these are functional interfaces. Okay.
Okay.
Moving ahead. Do you know about anonymous class?
Yes. So anonymous class are
Mm-hmm.
basically those classes which do not have their name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are basically used while creating the subclasses or
Mm-hmm.
implementing the interfaces. Like whenever we want to override the method on the fly, at that case we can use the anonymous class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you remember, in Java 8, interfaces introduce two new things,
Yeah.
default methods and static methods,
Static
right?
methods. Yeah.
So my question is, what is a static method in interface and how it is different from a default method?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So firstly, static method is basically belongs to the interface itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can directly call that static method by the interface names
Mm-hmm.
itself. And the default method which was introduced, it was basically introduced to tackle the problem of multiple inheritance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if the two interface is having the same
Mm-hmm.
method in it, and the class is implementing those interfaces and calls the method,
Mm-hmm.
if there is an ambiguity, then
Mm-hmm.
class have a function to override that method, or otherwise it can use the method of default method of the interfaces. So that was the main reason default and static
Mm-hmm.
were introduced.
Correct.
Yeah.
And do you know about heap and stack memory?
Yeah, heap and stack memory, I know. So basically
Uh,
stack is last in first out, whatever goes
mm-hmm.
in at the last comes out at the first, and
Mm-hmm.
heap is like the
Okay.
uh,
So in terms of our Java, what things get stored in heap and what things get stored in stack?
okay, so I mean the method calls which we basically calls in within our
Mm-hmm.
class, it gets stored in the
Mm-hmm.
stacks, and the strings which we create in our methods or in our class, it basically gets stored in the heap string pool, which is a memory in the heap.
Yes, yes. And also objects creation
Yeah,
also.
object creations also.
Okay. Which is faster to access heap and stack?
Stack,
Why?
because stacks follows the last in first out order.
Okay. Yeah, that is logically correct. But stack is faster to access the heap memory because a stack has direct support from the CPU with stack pointers.
Yeah, that
And
also.
heap memory is a complex one.
Yeah, I have read it and I
Mm,
was remembering it. Yeah.
yeah. Fine. So moving ahead, you know string is immutable, right?
Yeah.
My question is why string is immutable and what are the advantages of being immutable?
Okay, so basically strings are immutable for the security purpose, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we are creating one string and if
Mm-hmm.
the reference of that string is already present in the string pool or in the heap
Mm-hmm.
memory,
Mm-hmm.
so by default, JVM what it gonna do is basically assign the reference to that particular object to us,
Mm-hmm.
which is by default, which is a security violation, correct? Because just in case if we have stored the passwords, someone else can, edit those passwords. So this was the security violation. That is why the string is immutable in nature.
Correct. So moving ahead, as we know, we have a collection framework in Java, and
Yes.
there is linked list and array list. So my
Yeah.
question is, in which scenarios is linked list preferred over array list?
Okay. So basically, array lists are used when we
Mm-hmm.
want to, access the data. The data
Mm-hmm.
retrieval, because the data retrieval in array list is quite, efficient than the linked list. And when we want to insert the data, then in that case, we should go for the linked list.
Linked list. How do
Yeah.
you store elements in a set to preserve insertion order? Which set would you want to use?
I would go for preserving the order. I would go for the linked hash set.
Yes, correct. Okay. Moving ahead.
Yeah.
What is hash collision?
Okay, so basically, a hash collision is like whenever two keys have the same
Mm-hmm.
hash code, So what JVM does is it basically assign those two keys into a same bucket, and it checks with the equals methods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is what the hash collision is. If the bucket size get increased by increase, then that particular, firstly it converts it into a linked list. Otherwise, it converts into a balanced tree. Yeah. So this is what the hash collision is.
Okay, so why it is important to override the hash code method when you are overriding equals?
Okay. So when we are overriding the this equals method, it is
Hmm.
important to override the hash code as well, because some of the hashing collection uses
Hmm.
like hash map and hash set uses
Hmm.
you finds those keys and
Hmm.
find those object using those
Hmm.
hash. Okay. And if
Hmm.
we have overrided the equals method, it is equally important to override the hash function
Hmm.
also, hash code also, because
Hmm.
it will make the JVM easy to locate those objects then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So now, Paras, I would like to ask you one coding question through
Yeah.
Stream API. So, are you comfortable?
Okay, stream API, I would have to yeah,
Okay.
I can try at least.
Yeah, yeah,
I-
it's fine. Then I
if
will
is it
ask.
Yeah, you can ask me something else of now, because I have to
Uh,
go once
okay,
again
okay.
the streams. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please open any editor. Then I will ask.
Okay,
Mhm.
I need to share my screen, right?
Mhm.
Is this fine?
Yeah, yeah, it is fine.
Yeah.
Change the language. Mm,
Where will I get the option? Okay, here is it.
no, this is okay. Go to the Google, then search Java editor
Ah,
directly.
here is Java. Huh.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So the question is, you are given a list,
Okay.
right? And list are having numbers. It may have duplicate numbers. It may have unique numbers. You have to print the unique numbers. Let's say if the list is 1 1 2 2 3, then print 3.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So it has duplicate as well as the unique. I just need to print the unique values, right?
Mm.
Okay. So it is quite simple because I have done a lot of programming. Competitive programming. So
Okay,
I'll directly go for the simplest approach. Okay. So
okay.
the simplest approach would be like, if we find the XOR of all the elements
Mm.
of all the possible, of all the element which are present in our array, it
Mm.
will basically as XOR of element with itself is zero. So at the last we'll be having the element which is just a unique value.
Okay. Okay, so let me give you a different one. I
Okay.
think will be
Yeah.
easy for you.
Yeah.
Let's say you are given a list of strings, right?
Okay. Okay.
List of strings, and you have to you have to arrange strings into several groups, like similarity.
Okay.
Strings should be similar in each group. For example, if the string contain write PAT, first one is PAT, just write
Okay.
it. Second is TAP.
Okay.
Third is student.
Okay.
Fourth is students.
Okay.
Students, right? And fifth is like lamp, LAMP. And fifth is uh, uh, lens, LENS.
Lens.
Lens, yes, right. So
Okay.
now the output should be like in first line, there should be pat and tap because these are the similar words. Characters are same, right?
Okay.
And in the second line, there should be student and students because they are also similar.
Similar in as in, I mean,
Similar doesn't mean anagrams. Similar means there may have, I mean, similarity. I mean,
okay.
if there is S in student and there must be S in the second word, other word. It doesn't matter how many S are there.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it.
Okay. And in the third line, print lamp, and in the fourth one, print lens because their characters are not identical.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm. In the
Hmm.
next line, lens, lamp and lens should not be print in the same line. Yeah. So there are
Okay.
four groups.
So, okay. Hmm. So first of all, I'll go for the naive approach. I'll tell you the approach what I'm gonna,
Mm-hmm.
then later on I'll go to
Mm-hmm.
the optimal one. So one naive approach can be like, uh, one pointer will be starting from here. I mean, here,
Mm-hmm.
it will be
Mm-hmm.
iterating all the list. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are at the pet, so
Mm-hmm.
basically what we'll do is, we'll uh, look for the each and every alphabet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And likewise we have to check it with, I mean, if the alphabet matches, I mean, if the, like, if the student has 2s,
Mm-hmm.
if the 2s comes in picture, we just have to continue it. Otherwise we have to go and check for each and every possible outcome, possible element, right? But it gonna takes n square of time
Mm-hmm.
complexity, so we are not going with it. uh, so the next approach would be is like, first of all, sorting these each string. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So once I'll sort this, I'll be getting uh, tap, I mean, these two gonna make the same string, right?
Then first will be APT, second will also be
APT,
APT,
APT, and
third
second
will be
it
E.
will be like DE,
Uh,
DE, TSN,
mhm.
right?
Then in last T. Okay, so anyways, like
Huh.
they will be sorted.
But it will get sort. But the problem in this is, it will anyways get sort, right?
Mhm. But the
So
problem will be like when student and students they both will be sorted, so they will not be identical.
they won't be identical. So instead of sorting them, what we can do is, we can store this particular in that set. So set gonna have the same single
Set of characters.
set of strings. No, just a second, it won't work then. Else what I can do is, if there is a student, we'll basically increment the counter. If 2s, we have 2s, we're gonna have the same thing. Okay. Mm, okay. So these two gonna have the same string, and then what I can do is, Okay. But this will fail here, student and students.
Okay, try ON square only. I mean, it's fine. Don't focus on making efficient the code.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mm, list. Can I write? I mean, can I first write in the C++ because I'm quite familiar. Then I can convert it into
Okay,
Java.
okay.
Uh,
Yes, yes. Write in C++. plus plus.
because most of the programming coding competitive one I have done in the C.
Competitive programmers love C++ plus plus language only. I know because I was also a competitive programmer back in my college.
Yeah. But anyways, the question is written there.
In my time, there was, I mean, lead code was not popular. Code
Okay.
Forces, Code Chef, the HackerRank, these platforms were popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was tab, that, student, students, and last was
Put any two unique string, lamp and put.
ठीक है. So student gonna have one more.
Uh, okay, so try in ON square, think like that. Pick first string like tab and compare this string with all other strings. And
Okay.
put each character of tab into the map like t is equal to 1, a1, p1.
That was that I was also trying to do is,
Mm-hmm.
so basically I'll make a map of it, like
Mm-hmm.
if the t is coming at single time, then I'll put one, and
Mm-hmm.
if a is coming at one, then t for one. Okay, then the
So
same
tell
thing
me
I can.
about when you are on a student, what will you do?
Okay, so when I'm at the student, what it will do is it will basically assign the s1,
T1, UD1, N1.
t2, u1 and d1 and 1. Okay.
So it is not necessary to put two one. We are just putting one just to confirm like S is available there. T is equal to one like T is there. You can also make up
Okay. I
character
can
and
say
boolean.
Boolean. Yeah.
Mhm.
Got
Then
it.
in other we will just compare whether S is available in the existing map. Yes, T is available.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Should I try?
No, actually, I'm
Okay.
getting late. You can
Okay.
try because this question, I mean, Deloitte asked me this question. I just
Yeah.
gave
Boolean.
interview recently, like 1 month back to Deloitte, so they asked me this question. So that's
Okay.
why I thought to ask you.
Okay. I mean, it is not like I haven't done it. It's been a while since I have done this, so I need to take time to come into this approach, right?